Okay, so in this video, I want to take a look at the 2 new starter decks coming to Fusion World. Now, they are set to release, I believe it's the 13th of June, which is like a couple of weeks away from when I'm recording this video. And I've kind of crafted some deck ideas. Now, these aren't final and these have not been tested. So bear that in mind before you put your judgment in the comments. But I have come up with a few things I want to show you guys, and at the same time kind of explain the game plan of the decks or of the leaders and what they're trying to accomplish. Now, let me first off say that I do like both these decks. They're very different, but I think both of them are cool decks. I'm not sure how good they will be into, obviously, the big problem of Fusion World, which is the fact that Boo and Halo Q are taking over the meta. How these cards will do into that, I'm not sure. But at least as they stand on their own, these starter decks do look really fun to play. Okay, so starting off with Shallot, I actually like this deck more than Giblet, which is the other deck we're going to look at. Only because I think I just like the way the cards play that are in his starter pack. His leader's weird, let me say. So, first of all, if you don't know who Shallot is, it's an original Saiyan from Dragon Ball Legends, which is a gacha game. But yeah, this leader's very weird. First of all, he doesn't draw, right? And he's not a crit leader. 2 things that are already really odd. For a card not to draw on its front side, especially when it doesn't have crit, just seems really bad. I don't know why it was designed like this. I don't like it, personally. And I think it will hinder the deck a bit. The fact that he doesn't draw on his front side at all. He does awaken up 4 and he does draw when he awakens. Now, what he has is activate main for 4 energy, place up to 1 card with 10k combo and Saiyan special traits from your hand. Now, let me explain kind of how this deck will work. The whole idea behind Shallot's deck is more or less get to full energy with or without the energy marker, and then use your leader ability to use up that energy to bring out your 6-drop cards that have 10k combo. I will go through what cards those are in a second, but that's essentially what the deck is trying to do. Now, when we look at Shallot's flip side, it's a 20k power card. It does draw when attacking. Thank God. Can you imagine if it didn't? And its activate main is the exact same as the front side, right? 4 energy, and you get to play a card with 10k combo from your hand, right? As long as it has Saiyan and special traits. Now, as far as the leader goes, again, I'm shocked that it doesn't draw on the front. Maybe because it has this ability to bring out a 6-cost card, or any card that has 10k combo is the reason for that. But even then, I don't think this effect is so crazy that it warrants not being able to draw, right? Because I think what's going to happen, especially in the higher ranks, is that people are just not going to awaken Shallot. He gets his effects whether he's awakened or not. So they're just never going to swing into Shallot and you're never going to be able to draw. That's kind of how I see it. Obviously, we do have self-awakeners in this list, but that's just how I see games with this deck playing out. But yeah, let's go over the cards. Now, I have a mix of the starter deck cards and just some good generic black cards that you can add. Not much. Most of the cards are from the new set or from the starter deck. We've got Fasha here and we've got Chi-Chi. I think Chi-Chi will work really well in this deck. Okay, so this Nappa is a placeholder card. Now, obviously the website I'm using is Eggman Events. He has his deck builder on his site. And when I was looking at the Shallot cards, I noticed there was a card missing, which was Nappa. There is a Nappa. If I go to Deck Planet and we take a look, you can see here there's this Nappa card. Now, this card is part of the starter deck. I mean, it says here FSO9-12. I'm just sure that Eggman either forgot to update it on his site or whatever the reason is, right? Probably by the time this video goes out, he's already noticed and probably would have updated the website. I mean, if not, maybe he'll see this video and now he knows. But yeah, I do really like this Nappa. 1 energy, on play, if your leader is Shallot, which has a typo here. If your leader is Shallot, add up to 1 card from your life to your hand, then look at the top 3 cards of your deck and place them at the top of your deck in any order. Now, in an ideal world, what you could do is, for 1 energy, you play this, arrange the top 3 cards, and then swing with your leader to draw the exact card you want. Unfortunately, the front side doesn't draw. So as much as I like this card and I still think it should be played, it's just unfortunate you can't draw the card that you've arranged. So yeah, this, let's go back. This Nappa is a placeholder for this Nappa. This is the card that I'm including. All right, so don't let that confuse you. It's just that it's not here under the FSO9 starter deck. So yeah, that's that. Running Vegito. Vegito is an interesting card. It's 6 energy whilst it's in your deck, which will be useful. And then on play, as long as you don't have an energy marker and your leader is Shallot, this card will give you an energy marker. So this is leader locked for Shallot, which is a shame, but it's a good card for generating an energy marker. So in an ideal world, you're getting out your 6 energy cards on turn 3, right? If you are first, turn 1, play some sort of self-awakener, whether it's Nappa or the Chi-Chi, if you have it in your hand. Then on turn 2, you can play Vegito and then gain your energy marker. On turn 3, you'll have a total of 4 energy and you can actually start playing your 6 drops. If you're starting second and you have the energy marker already, obviously you don't need to play this. What you could play on your turn 2 is this card, Beerus. It's a crit, 20k attack, and if you lead a Shallot, add up to 1 card from your life to your hand, again another Awakener. Then look at the top 3 cards of your deck, place them at the top of your deck in any order. Again, this would be great if your front side could draw, right? You could arrange the cards in the order that you want and then just draw the top card. Maybe these cards are the reason why he doesn't draw. Maybe Bandai thought it would be too strong. I doubt it when we look at what Halo Q and Boo are doing, right? Is anything too strong? Oh well, let me not say that. You never know with Bandai. But yeah, if you're going second, maybe this card is what you want to consider. Glorio's here because Glorio is still good, right? If you don't have any other option between these two, just playing Glorio, have a 25k on the board, that draws you one. If your opponent has an energy marker, it's still good. You can swap this out for something else if you want, but I just like the card. Then we have 2 copies of Bardock as our double striker. There is a double striker in this starter pack, and I'll explain why I didn't use him after I've explained the rest of the deck. Okay, now we go on to the 6 drops. Now, in the starter deck, there's a total of 5 6-drop cards that have 10k combo, all of which work with the leader. Now, I've chosen 4 of them. One of them is a vanilla, and I just thought these 4 would be better. And obviously, there's limited space. Goku here, 6 energy, 30k power, 10k combo. You get to place 1 card from your hand to the top of your owner's deck. If you don't have an energy marker, it gives you an energy marker. And then when attacking, reveal the top card. And if that card is a 6-drop, you get to draw 1. Now, obviously, because of its first ability, you're going to be able to control what card goes on the top. Ideally, would be another 6-drop. Or a Vegito, because whilst it's in the deck, it is a 6-drop. So yeah, this is a good generic card to start off with. Once you hit your full energy and you need something to play, this is a good one to start off with. I do have 4 copies of all of these. Again, these numbers could change. For now, this is just how I built it. It's kind of like it's like a first draft, should we say. We have Vegeta, another 6 energy, 30k power card. Activate main, you KO this card, and then you get to KO 2 battle cards that cost 4 or less on your opponent's side. This also is pretty good. This may go down in terms of how many I play, because I think there will be less of opportunity to use something like this. I mean, to be fair, against Super Boo, this is actually pretty decent. By getting rid of things like Buhan and stuff, and buff Boo and things of that nature, this card isn't that bad for that reason. But yeah, it's not bad. Obviously, you get to swing first and then activate the main, and then get to KO 2 cards. So yeah, good card. We've got Bardock and Goku. 6 energy, 35k power. When attacking, choose up to 1 battle card with a cost of 2 or less in your opponent's area and KO it. And then activate main once per turn. Discard 1 card from your hand, reveal the top card, and if that card has 6 energy, this goes to active mode. Now with this, you can't really control what card goes on the top, so that's something to bear in mind. Now, the way I look at this card, I don't think I'll use the activate main unless you can guarantee what the card at the top of the deck is. So, for example, I would, let's say at 5 energy, I'll use 1 energy for Nappa, make sure that there's a 6-cost card when I arrange the cards at the top, and then activate the main of this card once I bring it out for energy. That's how I will do it if this was a card I was going to play. Again, this card could also be reduced to 3 because it's not something you always want to see in your hand, right? You want to see either the UI Goku or the next card I'll show. But because all of these are 10Ks, I just feel like you kind of just want all 4, right? It's a 10K. Having 10Ks is never a bad thing, and this deck has a lot of 10Ks in it. The last one is Gohan. 6 energy, 35k. Reveal the top card of your deck. This is on play. Reveal the top card of your deck and add it to your hand. Again, you want to kind of guarantee that the card on top is a 6-drop, right, before you play this card. So again, Nappa is going to be great for doing that. Beerus, if it's on the field, is also great for doing that. You want to be able to kind of guarantee that there's a 6-drop there. So yeah, all of these are 4 of. The last card is, it's a vanilla. I believe it's a Super Saiyan Goku card. Just for the sake of space, didn't add it. And I think these effects are kind of just more worth, and that's why they're here. Then we finish off the deck with Super Combo, 4 of. Obviously, you can use any Super Combo you want. It doesn't have to be. I didn't even know this thing had a name. Kikanman? Is that how you... Kinkanman? I didn't know this had a name. I always called it Golden Cyberman. That's what I've always called it. So I'm finding out today that this has a name. Maybe the silver one has a name too, we'll see. Yeah, so then we've got I'm Gonna End You. Now this card is basically what Results of Training and Giblet Gun are for blue and yellow, right? This is the same sort of thing. As long as you have a 6-cost card on the field, when you play this, it gives 15k power to the battle card, and then you get to draw one. Well, not to the battle card, but the card in battle, right? Because it also works on your leader. So yeah, this is very similar to Results of Training, and it's similar to Giblet Gun. So yeah, Imagine the 4 of, the more I look at it, I might reduce this card down to maybe 3, maybe even 2. The reason is, you don't really get to use this card until you hit 5 energy. I don't know, maybe 4 is still good, right? But once you hit the 5 energy mark, then you can start using these and either protect your life or protect your board, whatever the case may be. And then we finally got Burning Power of Instincts. 1 energy, activate main. If there is a battle card with cost of 6 in a battle area, choose up to 2 battle cards with cost of 3 or less and KO them. It's kind of similar to 10 times Kamehameha. Obviously, 10 times you need to use an energy marker to destroy 2/3 drops. This one, you just need a 6-cost. For the sake of this deck, this card is probably better. Again, you won't be able to use it until you have at least 5 energy. But in saying that, you already have a card like Vegeta here, which can get rid of 2/3 drops, technically 2/4 drops, but it can also get rid of the 2/3 drops for you. So this card I'm not too sure about. You don't really play with energy markers too much in this deck, so I can't really put 10 times in its place. But yeah, for now it's in here. I'm going to try it out when the decks do come out on the digital client, but most likely I probably will replace this. It may not be optimal to have it in the deck. We'll see. Okay, so cards that I want to mention. The first one is Bulma. This card is actually really good. It's a searcher for your 6 drops. You search through the top 4. You look for a card that is a cost of 6 and has 10k combo. Oh, sorry, 6 or less and 10k combo. So this can search the Nappa that I mentioned previously. And then the rest go at the bottom of the deck. This card is good. And you could argue to play this card over the cantrip. I have Fascia here, but you could, any cantrip, right? You could argue having this card is better because it also searches Nappa. So maybe it is actually better to play this card, to be honest. I don't know. There's arguments for both. The only problem is, obviously the cantrip, you're always going to draw something, right? This card can whiff, even though, what's the condition? 6 or less than 10k. Let's see how many of these we've got. So Chi counts. Obviously the Nappa, if I show you here, where's Nappa at? Nappa is 10k combo, so that also counts. So that's 2, that will be 6. Then you have Glorio here, that's 10. Then you have 14, 18, 22, 26. Super combos don't count. And that's it. So 26 cards, like half the deck does meet the condition. And it's top 4. So missing on Bulma will be rare, but it's still possible. Whereas the cantrip, you're always going to draw that 1 card. Other cards to mention, if we go back, there is Trunks. Now Trunks essentially gives you an energy marker for 1 energy. So like you could play this on, I wouldn't advise playing this on 1, only because of the existence of Halo Q, a lot of decks, in order to compete, need to have ways to get rid of 1 drops. And so playing this on 1, I don't think is smart, especially if you need to get an energy marker. So I would advise playing this on turn 2, especially for first. On turn 2, if you want to play this, you will put this down for 1 energy and then use a 2nd energy to get an energy marker. You also do have to get rid of put a card at the top of your deck. Also bear in mind, this is searchable with Bulma if you choose to run Bulma, because it is a 10k. I prefer Vegito. Where is he at? They're very similar. It's just that this helps with your 6-drop cards because there's a 6-drop bars in the deck, so you can kind of manipulate that. But yeah, the 2 cards are very similar. You'll most likely play both on turn 2. Late game, you probably won't play it too often. This has late game benefits for the deck, whereas Trunks, not really. As we get later on into the game, you don't really want to reduce your hand size even further just to gain an energy marker again. So you're probably not going to play this late game. So yeah, I think Vegito is better in that case. The last card is Goku, Childhood Goku. Activate main once per turn if your leader is Shallot, draw 1, then place 1 card from your hand to the top of your deck. So this card lets you cycle through, well, it doesn't really let you cycle through your deck because the card's going back on top of the deck anyway. But this is a consistent way to make sure there's a 6-drop at the top of your deck, right? So it kind of performs the same role as Nappa. It's how to think about it. And you can do this every turn. So if they don't get rid of it, you're allowed to do this turn after turn after turn. In fact, I will probably actually add this card in. Yes, we're making the change right now. We're making a change. Let's do this, just to have him in there. I'm going to make a change. I think we can NKO it. I can reduce this. Do I want 4 of this card? If I want 4 of this card, this has to go down. This probably has to go down. We'll do 2 for now. I think you can make 3, maybe. But yeah, I actually do kind of like this card the more I think about it. I was kind of worried about space. Oh, well, Gloria, to be fair. Gloria. We could take out 2 Gloria. Now, unfortunately, this isn't searchable with Bulma if you want to play Bulma. But yeah, okay, that looks a bit better. So yeah, this card is great for cycling through the deck and finding your 6-drops. And obviously, you're manipulating what's top of your deck. So it also synergizes with the 6-drops that you want to play. Now, one card I'm sure a lot of you will ask is why I'm not running this Shallot card, which is effectively the double striker for the deck. 2 energy, 20k power. Activate main, put a card at the top of your deck, owner's deck. If your leader is Shallot, and there's a battle card of 6 in the battle area, this card gains double strike. I personally don't like this card. It's possible that I'm missing something about this card, and it's actually better than I'm giving it credit for. But as it stands, I don't see why you would want to play a card like this. The design of the card, it's a double strike, which most of the time is used to finish out a game, right? Your opponent's at 2 life, you need a card that's going to shotgun them down. That's what I'm assuming this card's supposed to be. However, it starts off very weak, which, fair enough, it is 2 energy. But then why can't this be a 6 energy 10k combo card with double strike, right? That's like a 30k or 35k. It's like something which will synergize better with the leader. So it's a weak starting double strike. You don't have the kind of extra cards that are going to really bump this card's power. To ensure that you always have the double strike effect, you will need to be at 6 energy. You'll use 4 energy to bring out a 6-drop, and then the other 2 energy to use this. That's minimum. But if you do that, then you don't have access to like the extra cards that you could add on top. I'm going to end you, or I'm going to end you card to add extra power. Yes, you do have a lot of 10Ks to combo on top of it, but I just think Bardock is just a better double striker, personally. Right, and it also doubles up as some form of removal if you need it. You probably won't because it's card set to do that for you, and you'll mostly use this as a double strike, but I think Bardock is a more effective double strike. There's no extra conditions, you just play it on 5, and then just add whatever combo power you need to add to try and end the game. I think to make this card playable and viable as a good double striker, you would have to remove this requirement for the 6-cost card on the battle. Well, you can keep it, but I would add a permanent ability that whilst it's in the battle area, its cost increases by 4, making it a 6 energy card, which first of all automatically activate this effect. That's why I said that maybe just get rid of this completely, the 6-cost requirement for the double strike. Just give it double strike, give it the permanent ability to make it a 6-drop whilst on the field, so you can't search for it. It keeps a 0k combo, right? What that allows you to do later on in the game is I can play this for 2, it becomes a 6-drop, and then, but it's a double strike with weak power, right? So to boost that power, now you're adding cards like this, I'm going to end you, which will add 15k, let you draw a card, on the condition that the card is a 6 cost. So yeah, I'm not sure, again, I might be missing something with this card. I don't like it, I don't think it's a good card at all. That's why I'm running Bardock. Yeah, I think if they were going to do anything with this card, just give it a permanent effect. Whilst it's in the battle area, make it a 6 cost, so that you can pair this with the extra card and actually put some power on this relative to what a normal double strike would do. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Once we get into testing, it might be that this is actually the better card to play. As it stands right now, time of recording, I don't see the value in this card. Something to bear in mind, Bardock here is actually Bardock's crew. So it is possible to run this with the Bardock lead. It has no specific lock to the leader, to the Shallot leader, but you do need, for the second part of the effects, you have to have a 6 cost. I'm not sure if Bardock really runs 6 cost, maybe it runs Gogeta, which is another card you could add to this list if you wanted to. You could run a couple copies of the SR Gogeta from FB06. But yeah, just thought I should mention that you can technically use this with Bardock. But yeah, that's everything for Shallot. Let's move on to Giblet. Now, this deck is really unique, especially for a green deck. We'll start off with the leader. Pretty standard, draws when attacking, awakens at 4 life, draws when you flip. On the flip side, you draw 1 again when attacking. Now, this is the interesting part. Once per turn, you can place one of your energy into your drop. If you have 2 or less energy, add 2 battle cards from your drop to your energy. Then, if you would add a card to its owner's energy, you can place it in this drop instead. Now bear in mind, this last section about any card you add to the energy goes to the drop instead works on either player. It's not just on you, but it's on your opponent as well. And I'll explain why that's useful in a second. Okay, so we're starting this off. Zamasu, this is your searcher for the deck. You look at the top 4 cards, reveal 1 battle card with a cost of 2 to 4. That's wrong. Hold on. Okay, it's 2 to 5. Just a typo on here. It's actually 2 to 5. Add a battle card with a cost of 2 to 5 and add that to your hand. Place the rest at the bottom of your deck in a random order. Yeah, this is just a searcher. It searches for literally every other card in your deck outside of your super combo. Which actually, now that I look at it, does have her own name. I'm not trying to say that. Ginnan Man? What does that say? Is that Ginnan Man? I didn't know these had names. Cool. We're learning something. But yeah, Zamasu is going to be vital for the deck. It's the only searcher that they have. I was considering adding like cantrip, like Goku to this deck, just something to draw with. It just doesn't seem right for this deck. This deck is quite aggressive. It's like a combo aggro deck kind of, but yeah. We've got hit. Now I'm not gonna lie, when I read this card, it made me smile. On play, add 1 card from your life to your hand, which is a Self-Awakener, which is great. You need Self-Awakeners in this list. You want to awaken as soon as possible. And when attacking, if you have less energy than your opponent, which you will probably always have, choose all battle cards with a cost of 1 or less in your opponent's battle area and KO it. This is going to be the first green deck that can actually play into Angel Q because of this card, and that gives me so much joy. For that reason alone, I hope this deck is actually decent in the meta. I don't know how well it will do into Super Boo. I'm hoping that at least against Angel Q, this deck can put in some work. I love this hit card. Obviously, if Angel Q does get hit with a ban list, who knows when that will be, then this card's value will go down quite a bit. But for now, yes, this card's great. We've got Baby. It's another Self-Awakener, and when attacking, you can draw 1 and then discard 1, which is not as bad as you may think. Obviously, you want to discard cards because you'll need to add them to your energy with your Awakened leader, right? If you have 2 or less energy, add up to 2 cards from your drop to your energy. So this is going to help you with that early on. Remember, you want to awaken really aggressively. And thankfully, the perfect card for that is this Giblet, Super Saiyan God Giblet. It's a blocker, 20k power, 10k combo. If you lead this Giblet, add up to 2 cards from your life to your hand. So this is a way to aggressively awaken you as soon as possible, which is great. It's exactly what you need. So on your T3, or if you're second on your turn 2, you can play this card, take 2 life, or 1. It's up to 2, so you can choose 1 or 2 life, similar to mine. And then you can awaken, use your awaken ability, gain 2 extra energy to play something else. Maybe a hit, or a Zamasu, or just maybe Baby, I don't know, something, right? So it's pretty cool. This Freezer, again, similar to the Shallot deck, this is a placeholder. It's a placeholder for this Freezer. Now, unfortunately, neither Eggman Events nor Deck Planet have this card on their sites. So we're going to use X to kind of reference this card. But it's 3 energy, 20k power, 10k combo, good stats. On play, Self-Awaken, and when you're attacking, if you have less energy than your opponent, which most times you will, choose up to 1 battle card with a cost of 2 or less in your opponent's battle area and KO it. This is not a card you will always want to play, right? But again, against Halo Q, this is good. This gets rid of Videl for you for free, basically. Right, as long as you have less energy, play this, swing, buy Videl. So yeah, this is a placeholder for that card. We have Cell, which is another Self-Awakener, and when attacking, if you have less energy than your opponent, choose 1 card with a cost of 4 or less in your opponent's battle area and add it to your owner's energy in rest mode. Now, obviously, everyone's thinking it. The card we're thinking of is 4-cost Jiren, right? Green had a card to deal with that card, which was a Warm Greeting. Giblet has Cell. What's interesting about this is, what you can do is play this for 3, right? Then before you attack with this, use your leader's activate main, right? Remember, it's an activate main, not activate battle, so you can't use it whilst attacking with Cell. So when you've used this, you've now activated the second half of its ability, where any card that goes to energy goes to the drop instead, right? Then you swing with Cell, and because of your leader's effect, rather than ramping Jiren 1 energy, you're just sending that Jiren to the drop. So this is an amazing counter to Jiren. Amazing counter to Jiren. Obviously, this can also work with other cards, right? Secret Rare Goku for black, the 4-cost, and obviously a bunch of other cards I can't think of them to my head, but obviously there's many options that this can work with. But yeah, very interesting combo with the leader. So I think we have three. Yeah, three of those. Another card is Boo. I'm not gonna lie to you, this deck, I've kind of just mashed a lot of the starter pack cards into it. Just the ones that I thought looked good, because I couldn't think of cards outside of the starter pack that could really fit into this deck. But yeah, Kid Boo, on play, discard one card and place 2 cards from your energy into your drop. Add the top card from your deck to your life. So it's a heal 1. Then add up to 1 battle card from your drop to its owner's energy. Now bear in mind, this energy is active, which is going to allow you to combo into other cards and make other plays. We have Broly, 4 energy, 25k power, 10k combo. When attacking, you can choose up to 1 battle card of a cost of 2 or less in your opponent's area and KO it. Another great way to get rid of Videl. If you're not running the Frieza, this is another good way to do it. Once per turn, place 1 energy into your owner's drop. If your leader is Giblet, switch this card to active mode. Broly is just a good pressure tool. Able to swing twice for 25k, gets rid of a 2-drop for you, so helps with a bit of ball control. Just a very good, I can't call it a generic card because it's leader locked, but just a good card for the deck. Then we have Shallot. This is the fusion between Shallot and Giblet. 4 energy, 30k power, 5k combo. Permanent, if you have less energy than your opponent, this card in the battle area gets 5k, so it becomes a 35k. On play, place 2 energy into your drop. If your leader is Giblet, draw 1, then add up to 1 battle card from your drop into your energy. Again, similar to Kid Boo, this energy is active. So it's another way to extend your plays. Next, we have Turles. Turles is your finisher. On play, place 2 of your energy into your drop. If your leader is Giblet, this card gains double strike for the turn, then add up to 1 card from your deck to your owner's energy. Again, that energy is active. So yeah, this is basically your finisher for the deck. Not much to say there. And then we have Rose. It's 5 energy. Place 2 cards into your owner's drop, choose up to 1 battle card in your opponent's battle area, and KO it. There's no cost restriction or anything like that. Only have 3 of. I think it's the only 0k in this deck outside of the extra cards. Yeah. Which is something I've noticed, both this deck and the Giblet deck, I said Giblet, and the Shallot deck, there's only like, you're only going to play like 1 card or 1 set of cards that are 0ks. In fact, this version doesn't have any. Oh no, it has Beerus. So yeah, there is some 0ks in this. And obviously if you play Gogeta, there's a couple more. But there's not many 0ks in these decks, which is quite good. Most decks have quite a few, like 10. But these ones at most 4, maybe 6 at the most. And then we've got Super Combo. And then we have the 2 extras that we're running. Saiyan Born Fury and Hate. 1 energy. This is effectively the same as Gigantic Meteor. The only condition is that you have less energy than your opponent, which is almost every time, right? And as long as you have that, then you always have a 25k combo card in your hand, right? Which you can use defensively or offensively, whichever the case may be. 4 of, and then we have Twisted Mentality. I'm not too sure about this card, to be honest. What it does, activate main, place 1 energy into your owner's drop. If your leader is Giblet, choose up to 1 battle card that costs 4 or less, and a card that costs 3 or less in your opponent's battle area and KO them, which is good. It's a great effect, right? Similar to like Sinister Sickle, but it's 1 energy cheaper. But yeah, that is it for the Giblet deck. Let me know what you guys think of these decks. Obviously, like I said, these are drafts, both Giblet and Shallot. Shallot. I'm gonna get so mixed up with these names, it's gonna be crazy. But yeah, these are drafts. Obviously, they'll probably change by the time I make videos on them once they're on the client. But for now, this is how they look. Let me know what your thoughts are down below in the comments. What changes would you make to these leaders, if any? Regardless, I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day, and I will see you in the next video. Take care, guys. Peace.